Hi there everyone, it's Sarah here and I have a video for you on behalf of Wild Orchid Crafts as part of their YouTube design team, The Wild Bunch. And my project today is actually the June Design Team Challenge, and the challenge was to create something with products from Wild Orchid Crafts that you've not used in a while. So that's what I've done today, and today I've made a tag and I'll show you what has gone into it and what have you. You need to excuse the rain if you can hear it, because it's absolutely pouring it down here, and it's rattling off my shed roof, so I'll try and speak up a bit in case I get drowned out by the rain. So let me just move my little card out the way and show you the tag that I've made. This is the tag that I've made. I suppose I better just try and show it down here. And the products that I haven't used in a while that I've put onto here is the Venice lace, the applique. I hear that rain getting heavier. Skeleton leaves and seam binding. So that's the three things that I've incorporated into this tag. And I'll just take you through what I've done. What I did was I took one of these big luggage tags, and this is one that Natasha, our design team coordinator, had sent to me a while back, and I've kind of been hoarding them, so I used one of these. And then what I did was I took some white acrylic paint and I kind of watered it down a little bit, and what I did was I covered the whole of the tag in white acrylic paint, and I dried it off, and then I went round the edges again to kind of darken the white, because it was quite kind of see-through, if you like. So that's what I did there. So that was the base, and then what I did was I sprayed some Dylusions pomegranate ink spray onto my craft mat, and what I did was I just dipped the tag in, dried it off, dipped it back in maybe about 4 or 5 times, just to get this nice little effect down at the bottom here. And then what I did was I took a Stampin' Right marker, and this one was in ruby red, and I just wrote around the edge of the tag, and I wrote a bit about butterflies just around the edge, and it kind of blends in. Don't know if you can see my writing there. So that just goes round the whole of the outside edge of the tag. Then what I did was I took some fine burlap, and I took some felt. This is just kind of a peachy coloured felt, and then I also took some wadding. I'll see if I can get a little bit here just to see what it's like. This kind of felty kind of wadding to make this a little bit padded. And then what I did was I put the layer of felt, the layer of wadding, and the layer of burlap, and I ran it through my sewing machine all round the outside edge, so that kind of gives you this little puffy effect, if you can see that, this little bit here. And then what I did was I did some stitching, swirly stitching on the sewing machine as well. Next I put some little seed beads and I sewed them onto the tag, and that they go actually right through and through to the back, so they're stitched right through the tag as well. But what I did to the reverse of the tag was I put a nice backing on it, and this is crepe paper. What one was this one? It was crepe paper, Emma's Shop, and the paper is called Fabrics. That was it there, and I just took out the bit at the top here, and that's the reverse side of it. I also edged the whole tag in gathered twigs, front and back. And then what I did was I took some pink seam binding. I think this is either the cyan pink or the tulip pink, and I sprayed it with the Dylusions spray, this one here, and it kind of gives you this mottled effect. And then what I did was I took a little bit of scrap fabric that I had, and I tied that through the top, and that gives us our bow. I also used some champagne floristry wire and put that around the outside edge here. And I used some Cosmo Cricut tiny type stickers, and I put June down here to represent the June challenge. The burlap is actually adhered to the tag with score tape, and then what I've done is I've taken two of the little, now these are pink skeleton leaves, and I put two at the bottom here, and then I kind of not collaged, but I did a little bunch of flowers. And I used three different kinds of the Sweetheart Blossoms. I used the light plum. Listen to that rain. I used the pink, and I also used the ivory. And what I did with the ivory one was I just did the edges and the gathered twigs, and you can just see that one popping out the bottom there, just to stress it a little bit. And then onto the applique butterfly. This is the Venice lace, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I just adhered that on to the top of the felt padding. And I think that's everything. That's my take on the June challenge, to use stuff that I've not used before. So it was the Venice applique, skeleton leaves, and seam binding. So there you go. That's my little tag. And I'm currently working on a project for this week's design team project, so I'll have that to share with you shortly in the next couple of days. And don't forget to check out Wild Orchid Crafts for all your flowery and embellishment needs, and also their YouTube design team, the Wild Bunch, over at the Wild Orchid Crafts website on YouTube. Did I get that right? Anyway, I'm going to head off. I hope you like the tag, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.